This week, Billie Eilish's mom helps donate vegan meals to people in need. A new documentary links pandemics to factory farming, and coronavirus sparks a 280% increase in vegan meat sales. All this and more on LIVEKINDLY's weekly vegan news. If you're new to our channel, you can subscribe by hitting the leaf icon in the bottom right corner of the video. Click the bell icon to turn on notifications, and please be sure to like and comment below. Vegan meat sales have surged by nearly 280% due to the coronavirus outbreak. According to Nielsen data, purchases of plant-based meat were up by 279.8% for the week ending on March 14th. Oat milk is also in high demand, experiencing nearly a 477% increase in sales. Dairy milk sales lagged behind plant-based milk, at less than 10% of oat milk spike. Maggie Baird, mom to vegan Grammy Award-winning singer Billie Eilish, is helping supply plant-based food to hospitals, shelters, and first responders across Los Angeles, together with a number of organizations, including Conscious Cleanup and Eat Drink Vegan. Baird has created Support and Feed. The initiative encourages people to simultaneously support vegan businesses during the coronavirus pandemic, as well as workers on the front lines. "Please help," wrote Baird in an Instagram post. "You can order from any of these incredible plant-based restaurants. The food will be delivered to a needy organization in a safe, coordinated way when it works for them, with enough time for the restaurant to plan and prepare." She added, "You can also add it to a personal order if you want food yourself." Coming up, China's dairy industry takes a hit from the coronavirus pandemic. Keegan Kuhn, co-director of the 2017 documentary What the Health, is releasing a new film that explores how diseases from animals pose a greater threat to humanity than climate change. British filmmaker Alex Lockwood, the BAFTA award-winning director of the 2018 short film 73 Cows, is the director. Kuhn and Lockwood started working on the new documentary about 6 months before the coronavirus pandemic. Kuhn says interviewing public health professionals for What the Health inspired him to make the film. They all kept speaking about the real and present danger of diseases coming out of animal farming operations. He told LIVEKINDLY, "I realized then that there was a major story not being told, and wanted at some point to revisit this issue." He explained that intensive factory farming is the reason that diseases are able to spread and mutate so quickly. Our close proximity to these animals gives ample opportunities for these diseases to jump species into us, he said. On the conservative side, 2.2 million people die every year from animal to human diseases. Studies show that 60% of all human diseases and 75% of all emerging infectious diseases come from animals. The majority of these come from Western livestock, including chickens, cattle, and pigs. Kuhn hopes the film will open people's eyes to the dangers of animal agriculture and animal exploitation. Even if people don't care about the individual animals suffering and dying at the hands of these industries, they should at least care about other humans and their own health. I believe the film will have a profound impact on how we see our behavior. A new report from Rabobank reveals China's dairy imports are expected to fall by the double digits as a result of the current COVID-19 coronavirus outbreak. The Dutch multinational bank expects dairy imports will decrease by 19% this year. It says a drop-off in demand for dairy amid the coronavirus pandemic is partly to blame. Rabobank included the estimates in its Global Dairy Quarterly Q1 2020 report. The report explains a combination of factors is putting pressure on global dairy markets. These include supply chain disruptions, reduced Chinese imports, and the rising dairy surpluses in export regions. Vegan athlete Lewis Hamilton has compared self-isolation during the COVID-19 coronavirus outbreak to the lives of animals in captivity.
Hi everyone, as you well know, the coronavirus is very, very serious, and it's very important that we all work together to help reduce the spread of this virus.
The 6-time Formula One champion took to Instagram to compare the current lockdown to the feelings animals experience while being held in zoos. If you are home on lockdown, perhaps you can feel a little of what the animals in captivity go through every day. Their entire lives stopped from them. Please don't go to any zoos or circuses because this is what our money goes to supporting, he added. Coming up, Jack Black gives up red meat for the planet. The Mexican Senate unanimously passed a bill banning animal testing for cosmetics. The bill would also prohibit the manufacture, marketing, or import of cosmetics that were tested on animals outside of the country. The bill was fully endorsed by Mexico's Senate Health Committee. The potential ban is supported by global animal protection nonprofit Humane Society International and Te Protejo, a Latin American organization that promotes the use of products not tested on animals. This brings us one step closer to ending unnecessary animal cruelty in the cosmetics industry and demonstrates Mexico's leadership within the Americas, said Anton Aguilar, Executive Director of HSI Mexico. If enacted into law, Mexico's bill will make the country the 40th in the world to ban animal-tested cosmetics. Actor Jack Black is off red meat. The Jumanji star says he has given up meat and switched to veggie burgers to lower his carbon footprint. The actor and musician made the announcement in a video shared to Twitter in late March, using the trending hashtag #MyEcoResolution.
My eco-resolution is to stop eating red meat. I'm gonna still eat a cheeseburger, but it's gonna be one of those new scientifically delicious veggie burgers. You know, the Impossible, the Beyond, etc. I'm doing this to limit catastrophic climate change and to support my mental health. I think you should too. Much love, JB, over and out.
New York-based food tech startup At Last Food Co. is growing vegan bacon from mushrooms. The startup is a spin-off brand of biotech company Ecovative. Ecovative uses mycelium, the roots of mushrooms, to create sustainable packaging, skincare, textiles, and apparel. At Last uses Ecovative's extensive knowledge of mycelium to grow nutrient-rich fibers that replicate the textures and mouthfeel of meat. It is currently working to perfect its vegan bacon ahead of commercialization. First, the company seeds gourmet mushrooms in trays, which are then transferred to vertical farms that stimulate underground growth conditions. In just a matter of days, the mycelium is ready to be harvested and used as a raw ingredient for plant-based meat. Butter production is 3.5 times more damaging to the environment than the production of vegan spreads, according to a new study. The study, which evaluated 212 plant-based spreads and 21 dairy butters across 21 European and North American markets, was published in the Journal of Life Cycle Assessment. Greenhouse gas emissions from cattle feed production and livestock rearing made dairy-based butter's carbon footprint far greater than its plant-based counterpart. Research shows the mean average of greenhouse gas emissions for plant-based spreads was 3.3 kilograms. On the other hand, dairy-based butter accounted for 12.1 kilograms of carbon dioxide. Brands can make vegan butter from a variety of ingredients. Earth Balance is made from soybean oil and controversial palm oil. Brooklyn-based Fora Foods makes its faba butter from aquafaba, the liquid from a can of chickpeas.
So when we were building the product, we knew that we needed, a plant-based saturated fat to kind of give it that backbone so it would hold up at high temperatures, and then keep the ingredient deck super, super clean. Sea salt nutritional yeast, aquafaba, the brine from chickpeas to give it that umami, buttery kick.
Northern California-based brand Miyoko's Creamery makes dairy-free butter from fermented cashew cream. It will launch the world's first spreadable oat-based butter later this year. Shenzhen is now the first city in China to ban the consumption of dog and cat meat. Dog and cat meat will no longer be allowed to be sold at restaurants as well as live markets. The new legislation also includes a permanent ban on the consumption, breeding, and sale of wildlife, including snakes, lizards, and other wild animals for human consumption. According to the Humane Society International, the law, which was proposed last February, comes into effect on May 1st. Announcing the ban, a spokesperson for the Shenzhen government said, "Dogs and cats as pets have established a much closer relationship with humans than all other animals, and banning the consumption of dogs and cats and other pets is a common practice in developed countries and in Hong Kong and Taiwan. This ban also responds to the demand and spirit of human civilization." The ban also clarifies which animal meat may be eaten: pig, cattle, sheep, rabbit, and chicken. Dr. Peter Lee, China policy specialist for HSI, said this could be a watershed moment for China. The trade kills an estimated 10 million dogs and 4 million cats each year.
It's knowing that humans are capable of that's probably the hardest part.
In China, HSI believes attitudes towards dogs and cats are starting to mirror those in the West, as seen with Shenzhen's new ban. The organization's director of international media, Wendy Higgins, told The Guardian, "There is a growing and vocal Chinese opposition to the dog and cat meat trade. Young people in China are far more likely to think of dogs as companions than cuisine." That's it for today. What do you think about Jack Black ditching red meat? Let us know in the comments below. Remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell. We'll see you again next week for Live Kindly's weekly vegan news.